Alright, good morning or good evening, wherever you're at. Welcome back to another one of my videos where I'm going to teach you guys and train you guys to become the next Wolf of Wall Street. So the first thing here we're looking at is Webull. I promised you guys we're going to have a new a setup video for this platform, so here we go. On your phones it should look a bit different, but it's pretty much the same thing when it comes to indicators and what they're called and all of that. If you guys want pictures about those, I'll post them in the Discord. Just like circling the buttons and where to press if you guys need that. And if you could find them, great. You know, if you can find them by yourself, great. So the first thing that we're gonna look at on Webull, it's like Robinhood, but a little bit better with when it comes to tools, indicators. It's a little bit more in the middle of all these professional kind of brokerages out there. This one, I like it because it has like multiple tools you can use: earnings calendars, pre-market runners, aftermarket runners, the most active. They have watch lists for the most active in the whole stock market at one time, or whatever you're looking for. Basically, they have so much to offer, and they're free, which is why I like them. So if you haven't already, go ahead and sign up with our link in the description below. It will get you 4 free stocks if you sign up with our code. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and start this. I forgot to mention that you do have to deposit with an initial $100 within the first month to get your 4 free stocks. But you could literally just hold the $100 there and get your free stocks, sell them, and cash out everything out. It's literally free money, so I'm just saying. Yes. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. Okay, so we're here on your phone. You're gonna click on the bottom left. I think it says markets. Or yeah, markets, and then you click search, the little magnifying glass on the top. You search a ticker, and so say we were doing that here. Oops. So let's go to watch list. Okay, right? So we're gonna add one of our watch lists. Let's do Tesla. You're gonna see this a little bit different on your phone. It's going to have it's just gonna have the search bar. You're gonna see the ticker. You're gonna click the ticker, say you want Tesla TSLA. You're gonna click TSLA, and then there's gonna be like a star next to it, and you're gonna click that to add it to the watch list. And you can go ahead and name whatever watch list you want. So Tesla, we're gonna look at Tesla, okay? I'm done. We're gonna be watching Tesla this entire time. I love Tesla. Tesla is my baby. Okay, so this is what you guys are gonna be seeing on your phone or whatever it is. It's gonna be pretty much the same thing. So first things first, what I really like to use, the most important indicators that I like to use are going to be the simple moving averages. I use 2 of them. So you can use the moving average, the exponential moving average, but so let's just go ahead and pretend this is the simple moving. You could use the regular moving as well. I mean, honestly, they're pretty much the same. They're not the same thing, but the difference between the exponential and the simple is just a little bit different, how they're calculated on the closer term. So moving average, what we're gonna do, we have this blue one, right? And so it's set to appear. You're gonna see up here on the top left on your phone is also gonna have the moving averages. It's gonna have the setting of your moving average. So right now we can see that there's a 5-day activated, right? So we want this thing to say 15. Because we want that line to be counted as a 15-day moving average. So now you can see it says MA15. So now we're gonna go into the another one. We're gonna put this one into a 200-day SMA line, or you could do a 180-day or 200-day. It's up to you. You could try to mess around, but what I use is a 15-day and a 200-day. What I use is a light blue or kind of a blue for the 15-day. For the 200-day, you are going to have to check mark it. If it doesn't show up, you're going to have to check mark it for it to show up, by the way. So we have the red one. I'm going to be using that as my 200-day estimate. That one is going to be more of a long-term directional pointer where this thing is pointing. So done. Okay, so see how this red line is pointing downwards. We have a bearish direction. Bullish and bearish. I want to talk about that real quick. Bullish, you have a general consensus or belief that the stock will go up. Bearish, you have a general consensus or belief that the stock will go down. Okay? So from now on, I just want everybody to be clear on that.
If you're still having trouble with the bullish and bearish, just try to think of when a bear attacks, it attacks with its claws downwards. And when a bull attacks with its horns, it attacks upwards.
Okay, so the red SMA line, the 200-day, the red long-term SMA line, you're going to hear me talk about these things in the Discord. So this one's set to 200. I always pay attention to this one for the long-term type of strength, where it's pointing at. 200-day, see how it's pointing down. You have a bearish type of setup here. If you see this thing bounce or whatever all the way, you see it climb up, you are bearish here. Like since you see this thing kind of down, you see it drop below, you use these lines as kind of indicators. And the 15-day is a little bit more short term. You see how it's a little bit more all over the place, but the long term is a little bit more stable when it comes down to the prices and stuff like that. So I want to change this because on your phones you are going to have different time frames. And you are going to have either line style or candle. So you're going to most likely start off with, I think it's this right here. You will have this line, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to have to go up here into your settings. It's going to be on the top part next to your indicators. You're going to see line, area, candle, hollow candle, based on all these. You're going to just do candle. That's what I use. And we're going to learning how to read these candles a little bit better in the future coming videos, so you make sure you subscribe for those. But the next thing you're going to want to do is check out the time frames that you can look this thing up. So down here we have the range or intervals. You're going to see this thing on your phone as well. So we see intervals, that is the time of each candle. So let's say we want 30 minutes, we're going to see 30-minute candles. Each of these candles was a representation of 30 minutes of time. So we see how Tesla's been doing for the past, if we look at the range, let's do the 1 month. So for the past 1 month, we're looking at every candle here is now representing an hour. So now you can kind of see how we are getting a kind of general direction or kind of general overview of where Tesla is, where it's trading at. If it's a little on the overbought side, meaning it's on the higher side of the chart. If it's a little on the oversold side, meaning it's on the bottom side of the chart. We can tell all of these things just by coming in and zooming out to the longer term charts. And so yeah, we talked about our indicators, those two, the SMA lines, 200-day, 15-day. You talked about the intervals with like each candle, how much is going to be each candle representing down here. And then you have your range of how much you want to look at the chart with. If you want to look at the year-to-date chart, this is how many days have been in the year and year-to-date. If you want it for every 30 minutes and so forth, you have so much options to choose from right here. Okay? So now we're going to move on to another studies, but they kind of... They're external studies. They don't go overlaid on the chart. So with these studies, I'm only going to give you guys pretty much just one external study because I think you guys don't really need too much. I don't want to confuse you guys too much, but the RSI, hands down, has to be one of my beginner indicators because on the RSI chart, the way we use this thing is we look at the RSI and over 70, you see down here how it has these RSI numbers, over 70, if your price, if that certain time, see for here an instance right here where we are at the present time, our RSI is indicating 49.8 whatever, if basically 50, right? If you are above 70, you are considered on an overbought level. This means that you are an overextended to the upside. You should be focused on selling. This is a little bit more chance that it will pull back, basically. And if you are on the under 30, which is times like this, you see how on the top part of this chart how it correlated with being oversold on the RSI. Well, this right here, the RSI told you that it was a good deal. Under 30 is a cheap deal in reference to the RSI indicator. Basically, it's telling you it's a cheap deal relative to the rest. It's what RSI stands for is a relative strength index. So this is going to tell you where on the chart, if it's looking strong or looking week or whatever, but more importantly, it's going to let you know if you are overextended, if you are oversold, and if you find yourself that you're in a position and you're seeing this thing dip, but you're in it already. I mean, this is not financial advice. You know, I'm not a financial advisor for the bitch. But if you do see this thing dip, what I like to do is I go ahead and I zoom out and I pay attention to where are we on our long-term charts. Are we at oversold levels that this is a good deal happening? And if so, I would add to my position if I'm already caught in it, you know, average down and stuff like that. This is not financial advice though. I'm doing this for educational purposes only. This is what I do. So I would average in. And the way we use these SMA lines is because, you know, we broke above here at this point. So see, RSI was indicating oversold. We were kind of on the lower side of the chart. Tesla has always been bullish though. So keep that into consideration. We've been bouncing off this longer term SMA line, using it as a support here, you know, going up and up and up and up. And when we finally did, we broke above, tried to break up of it again right here, and we got rejected. And then right here, we found our way back up to the short term price strength SMA line right here, started building our way up to that previous resistance level from back here. We sold off, and then now we're coming back to a previous support level, and then it bounced up, and you could use these as indicators. As I was editing, I realized how confusing I really sounded, but basically what I'm trying to say with the simple moving averages is when you break a certain direction, if you are riding above, you are in bullish territory, and it's a strong sign for you to be above a 200-day SMA line. For your price to be below the 200-day SMA line is a bearish signal. So keep in mind, when I'm talking about using the SMA line as a support, that is crucial time to know whether if you break below, if you're crossing into a bearish territory where you're starting a downtrend, long-term downtrend, and that's kind of worrisome, or you just have a nice dip opportunity and you're actually bouncing off of that long-term SMA line. So when you break the long-term SMA line, that is a very bullish signal again. When you break the short-term SMA line, that is a bullish signal, of course, but it is a weaker signal than breaking the 200-day. Breaking the 200-day is like a long-term strength. So if you saw this bounce over here and you saw it bounce on the long term, that's a good bullish sign. So there we have all of our indicators that I use. So go ahead and add those. If you have any trouble adding those, go ahead and DM me. So we're gonna move on. Now we're gonna go into things like tools and scanners for Webull. So screeners, the screener tabs, you're gonna see all of you can have a criteria set for the type of stock that you want. You could see like what you don't want. You could see if you wanted a market cap from if you just want big blue chip companies, if you just want penny stocks, you can come over here, you can screen them or whatever. You can I have my own screener set up also, and I think they come in default also. So oversold, I think that's mine actually. I set those up. But oversold, one of these comes in default. You can just click one. So yeah, it clicks one and it changes. The RSI, I had that one too. The RSI is under 20. It's under those. So we see one of these and look at the volume. Check, you know, volume, is it good? Look at this, 760K volume. Okay, let's check this one out. But anyway, either way, you could find the stock right here on the screeners tab to find the stock that you're looking for. To say if you want volume, if you want it to be an after hours runner, you can have different types of if it has to have dividends, if it has a percent change of a certain amount, if the price is under $1 or whatever. You have all of these different tools to your disposal for free. So we have that screener tool. Also, we have the customization tool. You can actually choose if you want to have different charts, if you're crypto trading, options trading, multi-charts, day traders, all that. You have all of these options on the desktop platform. This is a little new feature that I like. I'm going to be looking at this a little bit more closely. I haven't used it too much, but I like this feature a lot. Also, you're going to have paper trading, which is really great. I recommend everybody starts paper trading, but I understand it doesn't have that quite of an emotional aspect, so you can't really learn. There's a limit. But also markets. The markets tab is great. Please use the markets tab to your advantage. You have an earnings calendar. You have an IPO calendar. You have a sector like a sector heat map. You're gonna have this on your phone. You're going to see which sectors are really doing really well, which ones are kind of selling off, if the whole market is selling off at once, or if, all these things you're going to be able to look at a far kind of glance without even having to do anything all in one tab. You can go to your industries or check the different type of sectors and see what they're doing. See how computers are doing, if everything's up, the biggest names in computers are doing. You can see oil, all this and stuff like that, automobile holding companies, housing, all that, all those sectors are going to be available on the markets tab. Also, what I like about the markets tab is going to have most active users. It's going to have most active pre-market, most active aftermarket users, which is very useful. When it comes to day trading, you want liquidity. You want in and out quickly. You want that price action to be flying. You want volatility. When there is a lot of volume in a stock, that is when you get that volatility. And over here on this market tab, it's going to look a bit different on your phone, of course. But on your market tab, you are going to have the most active pre-markets runners and the most active aftermarket runners. So the way I like to use the aftermarket runners is, say on a Monday or Tuesday, I'm scanning the aftermarket hour runners, and I see that a stock just it popped like crazy, and or whatever, like OCGN or whatever, like I told one of my students earlier, he said he caught it at 3 and it was at $8, whatever, but it closed at 5. So meaning at 3 o'clock, it went from 5 to $8, which is insane, a 60% increase just after hours. This makes me believe to look into the company, what happened in the fundamentals, to look into the news, of course, do your due diligence, but knowing that there has that little run after hours, I want to look for a continuation on Monday for this stock, because I know there's bullish momentum even coming into the after hours. Like we didn't have enough time to keep going, basically, essentially is what I'm saying. And that's what you want to see on these aftermarket runners. You're going to pay attention. You're going to see some of these names pop up. You're going to see something one of these days, you're going to see it on the aftermarket hours. And then the next day, you'll see that stock is one of the biggest gainers in the market. And this is the way you could find it, basically, just by sitting in the market tab, paying attention and kind of getting a better understanding of the whole market in general, seeing if we're uptrending, if we're downtrending. Check the SPY, check the Dow Jones, check the NASDAQ, check all of these and check if you are in an upward direction. All of these elevating factors are on your side if you have them on your side. If you are downtrending, if the entire market is selling off, do you really think your one penny stock is going to be the one to push up that's going to go crazy? I mean, like, let's be real here, hopefully it does. But I'm saying you got to be prepared in order to see what's going on in the entire market and kind of prepare a little bit better for that. So we have talked about our tools, our scanners, we talked about our indicators, and we talked about how we use our indicators, how we use our tools. So all of this, you should really start go and pick around in your Webull app. Go and check. Oh, we haven't talked about the order screen, so let's go check the order screen. So Tesla, I'm gonna be trading, let's say Tesla. Over here on the side, you can see my order screen. This is how you guys are gonna see it on your phone. It's pretty much the same thing. You guys are gonna have, it's not the same thing, I know. It probably looks like a lot of gibberish, I'm sorry. But for the buy-in orders, you're gonna have on the top there, it's gonna say limit, market, stop, all this and stuff like that. Honestly, if you want to get in real quick, in, out, if you are in the middle of the day from normal market hours from 6:30 to 1 p.m. Pacific time, you're going to want to be doing market hours, because if you're not experienced, you don't want to be trying to worry on how to enter a limit order at what price. If it doesn't get filled, you wouldn't even know, because you don't know, you're a beginner, right? Change that to a market order. Do yourself a favor. So it would be a market order right here. It's going to say all this on the top, market, boom, right away. Let's say I want to buy 10 shares of Tesla. That's going to be $8,500. Great. Boom. Unlock trading, blah, blah, blah. Do your little password and go for it. All that, boom, done, bought. Limit is a little bit different. Limit is an agreement to pay at a certain price no matter what. I'm only going to pay this price, nothing more, bud, is what you're saying. So let's do a limit price, limit order. This is how it's going to come default. And say, I'm only going to pay, what is this price at? $8.50. I want to get it at $8.50. So I'm only going to pay you $8.50 1 cent at most. I will pay per contract, or not contract, per share. So now if it ever gets down there to there, whatever, anywhere at 850 or 801, you're gonna get filled at that area. And if say we go to 850.02 and we never touch this 850.01 area, you're not gonna get filled. You would have not bought, and you will not be right in the position, and you're gonna be like, oh, dandy, you're gonna be like, yeah, I bought this position, yeah, I'm up. But little do you know, you check your positions and you're actually not in it. So please don't be that guy. Check if you filled your orders, check if it's a market, check if it's a limit, know the difference between the two. When it comes to selling, it's pretty much the same thing. Make sure that if it's on a limit order, you are trying to sell at a top up here and stuff like that, and it keeps going down, your limit order is not going to get filled. If you want to get out quickly, just do the market order, get it out quickly. If you are in the middle of these market hours that are really volatile though, power hours, for example, like in the beginning of the first hour of the day or the last hour of the day, those are most volatile. If you are putting trades in the first few minutes of market open, your market order is going to be a bit funky. Sometimes it might go a little bit through a little bit sooner, a little bit later, or might not at all. I've seen market orders just sit there pending, even on my eTrade Pro account. So just take that into consideration. There's a lot of eyes looking at the market right now. You're not the only one starting, and keeping that into consideration, this is also a free platform that a lot of other people are using, so they do have some slowing issues, just like Robinhood did. But anyways, it's about 20 minutes. I'm going to have to cover it up here. I want to close it everything here. So if you guys have any more questions, if you're about options trading, all this and that, we're going to be doing more videos in the future. So please, if you have not done so already, please hit that like button. You're going to help me out tremendously on the algorithm, and hit that subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys the best luck in your trading journey.